don't want smoke me, you couldn't handle my substance. He gave me life and assured me abundance. I don't speak broke, sis, I am abundant. My ex, yeah, he's a clown, making fake pages to watch me now. Climbing to the top, they can't stop me now. Got so much sauce, trying to swerve me now. Got my foot on their next nine, letting up. They stomp the yard, tell them step it up. Got my foot on their next nine, letting up. They stomp the yard, tell them step it up. 2 shows, 3 magazines, been on the radio, I'm not stopping. Wrote a book, best-selling author, my God keeps me popping. I'm affiliate, a life coach, my stock keeps on rising. Wednesdays at 8 o'clock on Facebook, they're watching. You see me? Candy cold, you see me, you see me. My dreams, they wanna be me. How I do it, the questions when they see me. So guys, they think I got a genie. Candy cold, you see me, you see me. My words are so powerful, you listen, you might get uplifted. I inspire to inspire, even when you don't show the appreciation, nigga.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's going on? It's your girl, Miss Vibrations. You know, the hostess with the mostest. How are y'all doing tonight? It is Wednesday. Make sure you share the show. While I do my little Sherry thing, you do your Sherry thing. And we are going to get into it. Say hello to me when you get in here so I'll know that you are here. And, you know, give us some hearts and thumbs up. You know how that goes. Something good I want to get into tonight. So, yes, I'm going to... hold on. I have to tell y'all that in a minute. How is everybody doing? And I think I might even share the link so that you guys can call in today to give your input if that's what you choose to do. Okay, because I have this video I want to show y'all and I want us to get into it. Okay, we're going to get into it. So how was your week? It's Wednesday, hump day. The week is almost over. Did you guys do anything interesting? Did you guys do anything interesting this week? I'm looking for, because lately my stuff has been a little, let me see, that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4. All right, so it's there. I'm trying to look for the show. Hey, YouTube. I see YouTube in the building. Oh, let me see. I got my exercise in tonight. But for the show, you know I'm excited. Was super excited about that. I'm trying to find it. What's going on? You know, we having some technical difficulty tonight. But let's see. Bear with me. Don't be a complainer. Have a solution. And I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to share the link so that y'all can call in tonight. Hey, Officer Waters. How are you? How have you been? Oh, that is such a pleasure to see you. How have you been? How is the family? Talk to me. Tell me how the family's doing. How is the family? Always such a pleasure to see you here. Busy and stressed? You busy and stressed? Why are you busy and stressed? No, we can't be busy and stressed. We got to be busy and blessed. Yo, I think I'm not. Let me find out. I'm looking for my thing. Okay, there it is. I was like, I know they ain't kicking me out my own stuff. You are busy and stressed. Why are you busy and stressed? Officer Waters out here saving the world. One person at a time, huh? Okay, now I'm done. I gotta get my moderators to start doing this stuff again because it holds me up. Oh, and I wanted to share the link for y'all to call in if you wanted to. So tonight, we are going to get into a few things, okay? And I'm excited. I'm looking forward to getting into them. I want to know, look, you know, Officer Waters, since you're here, and you know what I've been discovering lately? It's a lot of men that are like in abusive relationships. So I want to know, since you're right here, young fella, um, would you be willing to forgive your partner if they were abusive toward you, physically abusive toward you? Yo, because I want to show this video. Hold on. Would you be able to do that? I know a lot of us has done things and dealt with some things that we probably shouldn't have once upon a time. But guess what? Life is about growing on this. So you said no. Okay. So you said no. I see everybody else in here. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know, you guys. Would you be able to? We're going to get into it. Look, YouTube is rushing me. We're going to get into it. You got to hold on. Talk about the show. Give me a chance to rewatch. We're going to get into it. I gotta get into it. You little bully, Willy. So, I want you guys' honest opinions on this clip, right? So, the clip, yeah, we're going to get into it. Don't rush me. See what happens. Y'all just bully me. All right. So, since we're moving right along into it. Okay. So, there's this show on OWN, and it's called The Never Ever Mets. Are any of you guys familiar with that show? Put it in the comments. Let me know if you're familiar with this show. It's called The Never Ever Mets. The Never Ever Mets. I'm not even a TV show type of person, but I'm going to be covering this show. And I think I'm going to do it on YouTube. This is going to be covered on YouTube only, I believe. No, never heard of it. Okay, you've never heard of it. Anybody else watching? Let me know. Put it in the comments. Don't be shy tonight. Y'all usually be talking to me. It's a new show. I think there is only 2 episodes out. I don't even know when it comes on. That's all I know. I don't even know when it comes on. I just know that the 2 episodes that I saw were good. So LV Addict, you say it's new. So you've watched it. Okay, so you've watched it. So it's a relationship-based show. And I think that a lot of people should watch it, because then you will be able to come here and have conversations with me when I'm doing my thing. Okay. So it's a conversation show with couples that have met via social media. They've met online. They've been doing online dating. Some have met through Facebook, Instagram, other online platforms and things like that. Right. I want to say maybe it's like 4 or 5, like 5 different couples. They've been together for years. Some have been together for years. I think the ones who've been together the longest is a couple that's been together for 12 years. And the thing is, they've never physically met each other in person. Yes, you heard me. They've never physically ever met each other in person. And the one couple have been together for 12 years. I don't know how that's possible. Okay. Let me know in the comments. Could you do that? Like you said, yes. So they all come on this show and meet for the very first time on this show to physically see one another. Yes, Mr. Waters, right? It's so interesting. Think of it as it's no different from you talking to an inmate, somebody that's locked up. Or having a pen pal. I know when I was in elementary school, particularly like the 3rd and 2nd grade, we had like this project where we had pen pals that were out of the country. So I had a pen pal that lived in China when I was little, and she used to send me like different things that they made over there, like different little gadgets and stuff. And I would send her things as well, something that we did in school, which I think was pretty dope, by the way. And maybe they should bring that back into schools, because it taught you how to write letters and just, different forms of communications with complete strangers. You said you couldn't do that? Yeah, you couldn't do it. So, okay, this show, and then I'm gonna show the clip. So that's why tonight's show is, would you be able to forgive your partner, or would you be willing to see if your partners got a hand problem? Boop, 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 boop. They got a hand problem, right? So I'm going to give you a background on some of the couples, but this is not the couple that we're talking about. The couple that we're going to get into tonight is Dominique. Yeah, his name is Dominique and her name is Alexis, right? So Dominique and Alexis. She's 30. I forget how old he is, right? So the one lady, she's been with the one guy 5 years. They've been together 5 years on and off. Honey, because come to find out, he proposed to a whole nother woman that she found out on Facebook. So that's a whole nother mess in itself. Someone else on there, they've been a couple for 3 months. However, the dude comes on the show and he's talking smack with the other guys, like, yeah, I ain't got no girlfriend. So that confused me because I'm like, I thought that this was the purpose of the show. So let me line it up for you so we can see, so we can get into what happened on here. I hope you started at the Hoochie Daddy part. Listen. No, we're not. That's why people gotta go watch the show. So we go from there. We're gonna start from the part that's very, very important. So the backstory with this couple. No, I'm gonna let y'all watch the video. And it's gonna probably try to sound like I'm trying to justify, but we're gonna watch this together. And you all know, like, domestic violence of any kind is very, very serious. That's why I was like, thank you for sharing. I wanted to know, would you be willing to see if your partner has changed, if they were once violent with you? When I was younger, I was in a freaking domestic relationship. It was off the chain. He bust my lip, bust my eye. Like, it was just a mess, okay? And I wouldn't dare recommend that ever again for anybody to experience that. And I left them alone as well. So I just was like, I want to know because, sometimes people do break up to make up and they get back together. And we always say, well, people changed, or I took him back because he changed. It's like, are you willing to see if your partner's changed? I know you, LV Addict, how about you? Gary answered. Let's see if we can get you to answer before we go into the video. Are you willing to see if your partners changed their violent ways? Like, if the dude used to beat you up, are you willing to go back to him years later or right away or whatever just to see if he's changed? Now, for me, I have my do's and my don'ts. I'm not willing to see if a pedophile has changed because everybody can change, but I'm not willing to commit to you to see if you've changed. I'm not willing to see if a person who has a hand issue no longer has that hand issue. And it's another one because y'all know I got so many don'ts. But those are like my two big ones. I'm not willing to take that risk to see if you've changed for that. If you no longer beat women, cool. Change for somebody else. Cause I ain't spinning the bin with you and used to put my hands on you. You used to put your hands on me or anything like that. To each his own, because we all have our own poisons. But no, I ain't that desperate now. He said, no, because you only get one life. It's never worth it. Yeah, it's never worth it. Whoo, look, Officer Waters, you remember that little crazy situation I was in? God, But so that's why this show sparked this conversation. So I want to see, because I often hear a lot of people say it's levels to a domestic, it's levels to different situations. He said, "Oh my God, yes, child, woo, baby." My oh my, what they say, a fool in love. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into this so we can look at it together. Give me a heart and a thumbs up so I know y'all here and I can see where y'all watching at, so I can play this video for you guys. Let me know. Put it in the comments. So I can play this video. So we're going to get into this video. Okay, I see him. I see him. Hold on. I'm trying to, I'm trying to have y'all up here on my little screen. Okay. All right. So we see, so y'all on here. Hey, Andre. See, I have all my devices. So let me know y'all here. Hey, Shawnees. So we can get into what's going on here, right? All right. Damn. Y'all know I'm dramatic. Brace yourselves. So I'm gonna play the clip. Let me know if you can't hear the sound from the clip, so we can get into the discussion. Okay, you guys gotta let me know if you can hear it. He started like, there you go. See, there you go. I'm not gonna show the comments because some people have already seen the show, but we're gonna share the comments after. So again, you guys, and we're gonna see. We're gonna assess the situation. Okay, and like I said, let me know. I'm gonna say I know this thing ain't do what I think it did. Oh, I was about to be mad. All right, are y'all ready? Let me know if you're ready. Put ready in the comments. You gotta put ready in the comments. I gotta see ready come in the comments, and then we can press play. So you want me to play the video? You got to say ready. Hearts, thumbs up, or something. Y'all gotta watch this show. Okay, ready. Okay, I see him coming through. Ready. Okay, ready. I see it. All right. We're gonna watch this. So I gave y'all the backstory on the show. I see him in the comments coming. And thank y'all for participating, and engaging, because there's no need for me to be here and you guys don't engage. But then I also discovered that, a lot of times people just listen. So that's good too. All right. And like I said, let me know if you can't hear the sound. Let's go. Don't put your hands on my face. Don't put your hands on my face. How about you? This morning went well. I got my man. And then it gets to tonight. He yelling at me like I'm his child. I'm embarrassed. I'm scared. It's crazy. And I don't care. How you want to disrespect you? How about I was disrespecting you? How about I was disrespecting you? Yes, you did. When? Because you got a fake ass and fake. Oh, you question me. What? You question me. Stop playing with me, bro. Stop playing with me, bro. Stop playing with me, bro. Stop playing with me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Okay, cool. Come on, man. Okay, cool. Come on, man. Like, he just pushed me. Yeah, Okay, did we see that? Did we all see that? And and I'm gonna play it again. But did we see that? Did we see that? Look, she said, ready, start with his shorts. Ready. Okay. All right. So yeah, you guys saying, yeah, you saw it, right? Okay, so watching this. So this couple, like I told y'all, they have never met in person. They've only been together for 6 months, right? So this couple has only been together specifically for 6 months. That was their first time seeing one another, right? So what you guys are probably like, well, what started that conversation? What started this situation? What started this situation is and I wish I could show y'all the other parts, but do we need to watch it again? Do we need to watch it again? Because I feel like sometimes the eyes can play tricks on you. We gotta watch it again because I want y'all to be able to answer the questions that I give you, because we all have different perspectives of what we see. And then once I'm gonna play it again. Not unless you guys understand. And then that way I'll give you the story, and then we'll lead up to how we got here. To how we got to that part. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That is really good. That comment, girl, that comment is awesome. I hope I don't lose it. I am about to, let's play it again. Because I had to watch it like 10 times. So really, you know. So let's play it again. Let's play it again for some people. You know, let's play it again.
Don't put your hands on my face. Don't put your hands on my face. Oh, well, you. This morning went well. I got my man. And then it gets to tonight. He yelling at me like I'm his child. I'm embarrassed. I'm scared. It's crazy. And I don't care.
How you gonna disrespect me? Have I ever disrespected you? Have I ever disrespected you?
Yes, you did.
When? Because you got a fake ass. Fake.
Oh, you question me.
What?
You question me.
Stop playing with me, bro. Stop playing with me, bro. Stop playing with me, bro. Stop playing with me.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Me up.
Okay, cool. Come on, man. Come on, man. Okay, cool. Come on, man.
Like he just pushed me. Yeah, we got
I'm reading the comments. All right, so we got that right. Okay. So the issue that, you know, I saw first, you know, was what started this is the backstory. Like I said, you know, the show is a bunch of different couples. They've never met. They finally end up meeting for the first time. That was day one of them meeting each other, right? And I'll play it again if you guys need me to play it again. That was their first time meeting each other. He's from Detroit. She's from somewhere else. They had only been together 6 months. Now, prior to this, because I said that we like to ignore issues that people have before we see while we're with them. And mind you, they're only 6 months in while we're with them. And we like to ignore it and we think it's going to get better. Or, you know, we don't want to, you know, sometimes the red flags seem like six flags. You know what I mean? When you're having fun. So they had been together for 6 months. And she said prior to when they first get to the house, she said he has an anger problem. She said that. She was like, he has an anger problem. He has a bit of a temper, you know, all of this other stuff prior to, right? Prior to, this is why I want to get that. So prior to the video I just showed you guys, and I'm going to show it again. Prior to the video that I just showed you guys, right? She acknowledges all of these things before this situation, right? And I think that is important. So she also said that she's very jealous. She doesn't want him looking at other women. Don't be in the house looking at other girls. She don't play that. You my man, all eyes on me, this, that, and the third. So he was like, well, I'm the same way, you know. I don't want you to, you know, be looking at nobody else. So in X, Y, and Z, basically, I don't like it. You don't like it. We're going to do it. They had that mutual understanding when she first met him, with where y'all saw them kissing. That was their first interacting of actually seeing each other in person, right? So after that, they go to the house, and it's other couples and other peoples that's in the house. You said that's unrealistic. Wait a minute. I'm gonna get there, right? So, but that's why the show is called The Never Ever Met, right? So, one of the guys was in there and he had on hoochie daddy shorts. Now you'll learn if you go and watch the show that they have been drinking. He had on hoochie daddy shorts, and she was like, "Oh, he got on those hoochie daddy shorts and woo 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 and yeah, hoochie daddy." Mind you, her dude's sitting right there. So, you know, she's flirting in front of his face. She's flirting in front of his face with the guy in the house, because the girl that he's there with, she's not around at this time. It's a completely different couple. So she's flirting in front of his face, and you know, you could see him. So he's sitting there like this, like pissed. And even behind the scenes, like when they do their green screens, he was like, damn, like I'm sitting here and she's just flirting with this guy in my face like this. Like, she don't see, like, what happened to everything that we talked about? Everything that we talked about. What happened with that? Now she flirting with this dude in my face. So he pulls her up about it. He calls her out on it, like, He leave, he come back. He's like, yo, you're flirting with him right in my face. You're going to feel a way if I do that same thing back to you. He was like, there's other women in here too. Did you hear me compliment any of them? Say anything about them? Now, even the one girl who y'all seen in the video with her, on her little green screen part, she was like, that Alexis just seems like she came there just to party. She just wanted to have a good time. And like, she down with everybody, right? That's what the girl basically said. So the issue comes in where she apologized to him. She apologized to him. And then when he said something to her about it, she was like, I don't give a F. You know, I apologize, but F it, I don't care. You know, so he like, what? You know, how you gonna apologize and get smart? So the part where y'all see he's like having her like this, that seemed a little playful, right? So this is why I want y'all to tell me what y'all saw. That seemed a little playful, and then somehow things went left. So she was like, something shook, because you see her laughing at first, and he's like, really, like you playing? Because at first he even was smiling a little bit too, because you could tell like he liked that toxic stuff. You could tell he likes that. And you know, you can really tell that he likes that type of stuff. So next thing you know, she said what she said, and he just was like, what? And he just pushed her. So I looked at the push like, because me and one of my friends was going back and forth about this push. That's why I told you I had to watch it 10 times. I'm going to play it again. Let me know, because I'm going to read the comments from the guys who've seen it. I didn't take the initial push as if it was like he was trying to harm her. It just looked like, man, get out my face. Like how you just like move somebody, like, man, get out my face. But then you quickly see where it turns, because she was like, oh, you hit me. You hit me. And he like, what? And then she walked down on him, and then she called him a B. It went on. It went on up there. She called him a B or whatever. And then that's when it just escalated from there. So I'm gonna go to the comments, because I seen Shanice's comment. And I said, I hope I didn't lose it. I hope it didn't get knocked out. Okay, here we go. Because I think that this is important too. She said, I don't think that females have to stop I do think females have to stop walking down on dudes like science has and repeatedly told us that they are stronger than us. Okay. She said, not condoning abusers by no means, but stay out of people's faces. All right. And that's important too. I think that that's a part of the problem today, you know, where women know that men shouldn't put their hands on them, but that doesn't give you the open invitation to just hit him either, or to do anything to him. And then when he does something to you, you want to cry and say, oh, he shouldn't have hit me, shouldn't have hit me. But how long is he supposed to let you hit him? So I'm interested to see from some of the guys who on here that saw it. She said, damn, he snatched her up like that on day one. Yes. Now, remind you, she said prior to, he had a temper. So she knew, you know, even though the temper is the thing, the fact that he's doing this, girl, you acknowledge that he had a temper. But mind you, they only been together for 6 months. And this is their first time ever meeting each other in person. The one couple had only been together 3 months. The other one has been together 5 years, and the other ones have been together 12 years. They're all like virtual relationships. So Gary said that that's unrealistic. So I'm guessing he was saying that it's unrealistic to the show. Let's see. But okay, it says own description. Okay, so this is the description of the show. Like Alexis DM Dominique after he went viral on a podcast segment. Dominique considers himself a sensitive romantic with old school ways, but is a serial playboy who loves to flirt. So that's the description of the caption, I'm guessing, from the show, which I find irrelevant because he didn't flirt. It actually was her. It was actually her who did those things. It's gonna go. So let's see. Oh, that goes with your first comment. So it said, it's so many levels on this video. Both are at fault. If a man wants to lead, how he responds is gonna dictate how the conversation goes. Yes, and I feel like that too. I'm like, once upon a time, if that's the case, we can't figure it out. Both of y'all going to jail, especially when the police get called, right? They initially ended up getting put off of the show because the show was like they don't condone violence. He did do a video apologizing and saying X, Y, and Z. So let's do this. Let's see this. It says Alexis is a single mom and a former military with a history of dating cheaters. Though shy, she is opinionated and has insecurities that raises concern for her and Dominique's relationships. So is that still the description of the show, of that episode? So she said, I said it before and I'm going to say it again. I don't feel like she was flirting. You probably don't feel like she was flirting because you a damn flirt. No. Okay, all right. So that's why I think that this show is so good because it raises like so many conversations in one. So I feel like she was flirting. I'm not picking a side, but she was definitely doing too much. She was definitely doing too much. And I think that what he did say was he had been drinking and alcohol was involved. Okay, Gary said she absolutely was flirting. Yeah, she was flirting. You know what I mean? And I do think that is it's good that people let us see them in the light that they're in, so that way at least he knows, like, hey, she flirts. But this is why I say, like, long distance. Can y'all do long distance relationships? Could you do a long distance relationship? I couldn't ever do a long distance relationship. So this is why I think that this show is really cool, because this is their first time meeting. And some of them have been together for years. Like I said, the easiest way to look at it is to look at it as somebody getting locked up. But even when you locked up, you get visits. But for me, I can't do the long distance relationship thing, because I want to be held that night, just like you gonna want to be held that night. And if my poom poom get to meowing, I'm gonna need it to be scratched, and you're 1,800 miles away. It's just not gonna work. I'm not even gonna set myself up for failure. Like that would be the shortest relationship ever. See, I can be real. That would be the shortest relationship ever lived. I cannot do long distance. Like, that takes a lot of trust. That takes a lot of everything. So this is why I find it interesting, because the one couple, the one lady on there, he's like 51 or something, she's 44. They've been there for 5 years, but they broke up at one point, all this via online, because she found out through Facebook he was getting engaged. He proposed to somebody else. So for me, that would lead so many questions, like, well, where were you when you told me you were going to sleep? And where did you tell me you were? Or how did you find time to go shopping for a ring when we've been together virtually for 5 years? And then they ended up getting back together. So the explanation that he gave on the show, he said that he wasn't sure that they were going to ever meet each other. He was like, I wasn't sure that we were ever going to meet each other. I didn't think that this was real. I didn't think that this was going to happen. And I ended up making a decision, proposing to her somebody else. I just wish that you can forgive me for it, and we can move past that. Of course, y'all know she stayed with the boy. They want a damn show. But I just was like, wow, that's interesting, because I couldn't do it. My thing is, in order to propose to someone, you had to knock their boots. I mean, everything about him say he knocked some boots. So he was physically cheating. He proposed. So it's like, was he ever with you? Y'all gotta watch this show. It's such a great show so far. She said, Sanara, hey, Sanara girl. She said, long distance does not work for me. It doesn't work for me either. Gary said, no, I couldn't do long distance. Jackie said, "Hey, Jackie girl." Jackie said, "I can do long distance, but it would have to be temporary long long distance." Okay, so you could do long distance with a timeline. So Jackie, what would your timeline be? So what would your timeline be? And after your timeline comes, then what? Would you relocate? Would you expect them to relocate? See, thank you for showing up. I think that this is good because these are things that happen. If you don't set the tone from the beginning about those issues, it will continue to snowball. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. I definitely agree with that. She should have set the tone. They should have set the tone about that. But again, what I said, we like to ignore red flags, and sometimes red flags look like six flags, especially when you having a good time. So she said, I can do indefinite long distance. So, okay, so you can. All right, so you can do it. Why did it take so long for them to meet? Did they ever say why? Every couple has their different reason. It's good. Y'all know it's not really a foolishness show. At least I don't believe it is from the first two episodes because it's on Oprah Winfrey Network. And how often do Oprah Winfrey have like she not gonna have no Zeus love and hip hop stuff on her channel? But some of them say one of the couples I believe even lived in the same state and never saw each other. Oh yeah. She seen the show, said the one couple live in the same damn state and never seen each other in person. Right. So this is why I'm like, I want to continue to see this to see if this is just something for the show or what, because there's no way I could be with someone for years and we've never met. I mean, there is no way. You have people who give you their phone numbers and they're ready to take you out the next day, or they make the time. I just would think it would make sense. Oh, Sanera, you seen it? I watched the show. It's really good. So far, right? It's really good. Okay. Okay. So off the water, Gary says, and Angelic, you could do a long distance committed relationship. Okay. Yeah, see, I like this. See, this show has y'all talking to each other. Y'all have to watch this. Y'all have to watch this show. I'm down to relocate, but you know I'm always on the move, so I hope he's always willing to relocate. No more than a year of being long distance. Okay, so you would do long distance for no more than a year. So what would happen in the year? Then the discussion would be, so after a year you would be willing to relocate, or after a year he should be willing to relocate too? Yeah, like let's get into this. And do you guys think that this, well, it was a domestic. And a lot of times people think that domestics have to be whoops upside your head with a fist. But I don't know. I mean, it's just unacceptable because that's the first time she met him and that happened. So it's like, yeah, leave him alone. But even when you watch the scenario, you've seen it. Even when you watched it and she's sitting there and even the people around, I feel like she was more embarrassed than anything. She was more, and I honestly feel like if the other people wasn't commenting, and if the people didn't make them leave for being violent, she'd have took them back. She would have stayed with him. That's just my opinion. I would love for you guys to watch it and you let me know. But I feel like, because they had it at the table when the guy was like, listen, I have a daughter your age. If he did it once, he will do it again. I wouldn't want my daughter in this situation. And everything. Yeah, she never said, I think she was going to take him back. Yeah, she was. But I definitely do. Because he did do an apology. He didn't stay in the house. He left. And he even said, man, I should have just took my butt to bed. He did an apology and was just like, definitely alcohol plays a part. It went too far. It shouldn't have been like that, and just hopefully you give me another chance. And they told her, well, since we sent him home because we don't do violence, you have to go home too. Of course, because there was nobody there for her to date. How's she going to stay on a dating show? And her date then got kicked out for jacking her up. she changed her tone after the conversation with the others. Yes. And this is why it's like, you know, everybody, we all have our own poison. Some people can deal with an alcoholic. Some people can deal with abuse. Some people can deal with the cheater. Some people can deal with a compulsive liar. We all have our own poison that we can deal with. And I think that that's something that we need to understand. We all aren't alike, right? But she definitely, she was more so swayed to leave him alone. Let's say they would have stayed on the show. They would have stayed on the show. She was more so swayed because the older woman that was there was like, you don't deserve that. I've experienced that. You know, and of course, don't get me wrong, it's showing you like this is not going to be a good situation. This is not going to be a good situation. It's only going to escalate. So she said one of us would be moving after the year. Okay. I wouldn't trust that the other partner isn't sleeping with someone else. Yeah, I couldn't do the long distance thing either. You couldn't trust that they wasn't sleeping with nobody else because you're going to be sleeping with somebody. Okay, that's how it goes. Okay, we got to be real. I think we have to get to a space where we make it okay to walk away until we are calm enough to take in what is actually happening. Yeah, you know what? Too, with that comment too, Shanice, that's very good. Because even us as women, when they are trying to walk away, we have to let them. Because a lot of times we want to block them, pull them. I mean, have any of y'all ever done that? Or had that happen to you? No, I mean, I've done it. No, you ain't leaving out of here. You ain't leaving out of here. I mean, but now you can't even get me to argue with you for 2 seconds without being like, this is not going to work. Really? This is the first disagreement. Yeah, but I don't really feel, I'm not in a space where I want to disagree. you know what I mean? Like, what? I just wanted butter. Well, you told me you didn't even like butter. So, but you know, stuff like that. It's crazy. It's crazy. We have to. Okay, she said young me have. Yeah, me too. When I was younger, teenager, 20, I definitely was like, you gonna stand here and hit him with the Yvette. You gonna stand here and listen to me. I don't think Jody hit Yvette. But that's another story. I feel like it was like a reflex. He hit her. He like fixed his hand, like, girl, didn't I tell you? So I don't know, and it just happened. But you know, it's just stuff like that. When it's getting to the point of that, you didn't do it. That's why I was like, you know what? I have been having a lot of conversations lately, like I said earlier, with a lot of men who have and are in physically abusive relationships with women. And I was taken back to learn that there were men that were allowing women to beat them and mistreat them physically. And it takes a toll, believe it or not, it takes a toll on them, just like it takes a toll on women when it happens. I didn't know that. Like, even though I was a cop at one point, and you know, we in a ghetto, so we going to the same house every day. You know they gonna beef. You know they gonna get back together. She gonna put a warrant out on him, and you gonna spin that bin, and he gonna be right in the house. All you gotta do is wait for the car. You know, things like that. This is why I feel like, you know, you shouldn't get authorities involved in your situation, especially if you aren't going to leave it, have no thoughts on leaving it, or you just doing it just to do it, to be smart. Because then you do have those who really need the protection. You really have people who really need it. You know what I mean? So, a case in point, this guy, he was like a scholar. He was well known in his city. That had his girlfriend. They got into an argument one night. The girlfriend, I think she went in his phone or something, or she did something. They got into an argument. It's all on the ring camera. She hit him, and he pushed her off of him like, no, don't hit me. Like, go ahead, Joe. She gets on the phone. She called her brother, told her brother. He hit her. So you know what happened. The brother and the homeboys and them came to the house. All this is on the ring camera, knocking on the door, wanting him to come outside. He's in the house with his mother, his brother. He comes outside. They get to talking. I think they even got to fighting or something. And then they had guns, and they had guns. He goes in the house. He comes back out. he gets his gun. That was an officer. Are you familiar with that story? It was in a different state. I can't remember. Are you familiar with this story, Shanice? He was like an athlete and everything. He was about to go to the NFL. He was about to go. He was about to get drafted, and she has everybody come saying that he beat her up. She started it. She clearly started it on the ring camera. She started it. It turned into a big thing. He comes out with a gun. He starts shooting at everybody. Her brother that she called ends up dying. He got shot and killed, right? But there were text messages exchanged where she said she was texting, such and such put his hands on me. He gonna die today. Come around here, shoot up his everything, shoot up the house, this, that, and the third. So her brother ended up losing his life in this situation. Then this boy, he was on trial, but needless to say, they put her on the stand, everybody on the stand. The jury found him not guilty. You know, he was crying like a baby, like rejoicing. They found him not guilty because they went over there. It was guns in their car, and it just was a crazy situation. And she had gotten other people involved in her situation, and she called her brother and ended up getting her brother murdered. All because you hit this man. He knocked you back down, pushed you back down, like, get out of here, go home. You called them to come. They come with guns, trying to fight him. And he's living in the house with his mother and his brother. And he was like, he was defending his family. And of course, you know, the defense was saying, well, you know, the threat was gone. Why would he come out shooting? I mean, I didn't know how this was going to go when I watched this case. But I knew it was going to be some type of a good outcome. When they put her on the stand, I felt like they should have charged her with her brother being murdered, if we being honest. They should have charged her. But it's just these things like that. That's an extremely hard thing to do. It takes a lot of courage. It does. It definitely does. So it's crazy. It's crazy. And so yeah, she got her brother involved in her domestic, and he ended up dying. And you know, I like what Shanice said earlier. You know, women, like, we have to stop stepping up to men to fight them and expecting them not to hit us because they're men. And you can't beat a man on a good day. You can't beat a man on a good day. I don't care who you are. You're going to have to jump them or something. So this is why I wanted to know, you know, would you guys be willing to take your partner back if they've said, hey, I'm not going to hit you no more, or I've changed? Would you be willing, would you be willing to see if they changed? Can you put that in the comments? Would you be willing to see if they changed? I told y'all, like, I've been there, done that. You not going to come back beating me up 14 years later. We're not getting married. Now you done took a vow to whip my butt every day. No, 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 no. I told y'all, like, abusers and pedophiles, rapists and all that, I'm not trying to be with you to see if you changed. I ain't doing it. I'm not bringing you in. A lot of the times, it's crazy because, animals in the wild, they protect their children against danger. And it just seems like us humans, we bring the danger inside of the house, But I am not going to be able to see if you ain't going to beat me no more. Hell no. You better go get with Lucinda and don't beat her. No, ma'am, he can keep it moving. Abuse is a hard no for me. Okay. No, thank you. Yeah. So I've always wondered, like, I know things can be difficult to get out of, but it's like, I don't think that years, like I told you about my previous situation, I don't think that I would have ever been like, yeah, I think you changed. No, because I got to remember who you really are. Like, if you beat me before, you'll beat me. It'll be easier for you to beat me again. And that's just how I look at it. I feel like people who do things like that, it just makes you an easier target now. No, when someone shows you who they are, you have to accept it. When you go back, you're ignoring the flags. Yeah. So let's look at this video again, since we have some newcomers, and let me know, would you guys have left her alone? Ladies, would you have left him alone? Or would you have chalked this up to okay? Oh, Sanara, since you said you've seen this show, do you think she flirted? Do you think Alexis was flirting about the hoochie daddies? I know I just hit y'all with a bunch of questions at once, but I'm gonna play it. Let's look at it again.
Stop put your hands on my face. Stop disrespecting me, bro. Hands on my face. Oh, you. This morning went well. I got my man. And then it gets to tonight. He yelling at me like I'm his child. I'm embarrassed. I'm scared. It's crazy. And I don't care.
How you want to disrespect you?
That's cool to me.
Have I ever disrespected you? Have I ever disrespected you?
Yes, you did.
When? Because you got a fake ass. Fake.
So you question me?
What?
You question me?
Stop playing with me, bro. Stop playing with me, bro.
Yeah,
Stop playing with me, bro. Stop playing with me.
Say, oh, no, you on my don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Okay, cool. Come on, man. Okay, cool. Come on, man.
Like, he just pushed me. Yeah, we
First of all, he made me mad because I ain't talking to no man that wear no damn red Timberland boots. But I know, that's me being shallow. So Sanara said that was not flirting. She was just poking fun at the dude. Yeah, see, I guess we all got different interpretations of flirting because she was doing too much. She was doing too much. Red Tim, yeah, you don't trust a man that wear colorful Timbs, them blue ones, them red ones. It's 2024. What he got on red Timberlands for? But you know, fashion is about making your own fashion. You know what I'm saying? Shit, she liked it. I just showed Hobby the clip, and he said she wasn't flirting. She was joking the guy, if anything, and the guy got physical first. Okay. Now ask your husband if it was you doing it, would he feel like you was flirting? See, that's the other thing. We always can say what somebody else did until it's in our backyard. I mean, I think, like I said, I think she was flirting if she was doing too much. If we don't want to call it flirting, we could call it doing too much. She was doing too much. You know, that was your first time ever seeing this man in person, and you so focused on the other dudes that's in the house. Like, why you even if you know you got hoochie daddy shorts on, you're the only one there saying something about his hoochie daddy shorts. All the other women worrying about the man that they came there to meet for the first time. She just was like, I think they both was red flags. They both were red flags. They both were red flags. Definitely. Matter of fact, I made a similar comment to one of the safety assistants yesterday and today. Two different guys. What comment you talk about their hoochie daddy shorts? Yeah, she was doing too much. Okay, he said no. Okay. Well, you know, I think that's good. I think that is good. I just feel certain things you just shouldn't do. If she wanted, I feel like if she wanted to do all about the hoochie daddy and all that, what she was doing, she could have did that amongst the girls in the room. They all sleep together. She could have had that as like a little key moment. To do that in front of the guy you came to meet is like you weren't considerate of how he feels. And I think a lot of the time, even if you know we may not feel like it was flirting, he felt like it was flirting. So we have to start also respecting the fact that what may not be a big deal to us, that's a big deal to our partners, then it's a big deal. Because if your partner doesn't like it and you don't have a problem with it, that's not okay because your partner doesn't like it. So something you would take small that he may take big or she may take big and you may look at it small, it's still a problem. Let's figure it out. Let's figure it out. I feel like she did that on purpose to get a reaction out of the dude she claimed had a temper. Yeah, yes. Yeah. Shanice said, message. Yes, that was the message. Oh, you caught it. Glad you caught it. Yeah, I definitely it was like that because this is why I feel like you know we have to watch the show. We have to watch the show together. Because she kind of gave off like she wanted to see how he was going to react, and then it was like, oh shoot, he's really feeling a way about this. And I think maybe if you remember when he first like pushed her away, she didn't take it serious at first until she was like, I guess maybe it was like the force or something. Or after he pushed her away, she realized he was really upset. Because then she came back and was like, oh, so you hit me? You gonna push me? It was like, she ain't even think it was serious at first until she saw he wasn't playing. That's what I observed. You know, that's what I observed. And then once she saw he wasn't playing, it was like, and then he went off like, girl, I will F you up. And she like, F me up then, F me up then. So then they picking up the pot. So then it just became chaos. It was chaotic, you know, that because he said something to her and she called him a B. And he even says it to the other guy. I'm so mad because I didn't have time to upload the second part because it was 2 parts of the show. And he was talking to the guy about it. And he was like, she was like, you be. And he was like, you see? He was like, she don't even know who she talking to. And what we have to learn is, especially men, they don't like being called that B word. They don't like it. I understand that words are just words and people give them power. We give them power, but they don't like it. There are some men out here, you call them out their name, you don't know what people's childhood traumas are like. You don't know their triggers. How some of y'all don't even know y'all triggers until you triggered. And then you get this reaction, and it's like, after that, she just took on this victim mindset for the remainder of the time she was on the show. And it's like, nobody told her, and that's what blew me. Nobody told her that they both was wrong. That he admitted he was wrong. She never said she was wrong. You're gonna apologize to this man for doing what you're doing and then say, F it. You take the apology back and you ain't apologizing for what you did. So he felt disrespected. And you basically said to his disrespectedness. You know, I like to make it words. His disrespectedness. Like, come on. One of y'all probably would have slapped her too. Would have slapped her too. But I'm just saying, like, we just have to get better at that. You know, sometimes forgiving people and accepting apologies does not mean that y'all have to do lunch. It does not mean that, you know, I don't wish you the best. It doesn't mean that I don't want to see you happy. It just means you can be happy without me. And I think that we have to understand that it is okay to not give people second chances. Because sometimes you're getting the chance again because you ain't learned the first time. And the second go round or the third go round, fourth, fifth, sixth, or whatever, it's going to get worse. It's going to get become a harder test. And sometimes we can stay in situations to the point that it's hard for us to walk away from it. And then you're going to put love on top of it and say, oh, it's so hard for me to walk away because I love that man. I love that man. You know what I mean? When it's like, no, that's not it. And then we also love people more than we love ourselves. So you loving this other person so much that you are even dismissing how you feel in the process, how you're being treated in the process. Long as you love them, you ignore how you're feeling. And then when things don't happen the way you want them to, then they end up with someone else. Next thing you know, you feeling away and taking it personal. So we have to do some looking within, because like I said before, a lot of the times, everything is not about, what I said is the light and being a healer. Sometimes you are attracting the broken pieces within yourself. Okay? Yes, also waters, you could lose your life the second go round. Yeah. That's why I say it takes a lot of courage to take back somebody that do that. But like Jackie said, when you're young and you're dumb, you're gonna do some things. You're gonna do some things. But when you get older, you're supposed to get older and get wiser. Literally, even leaving can cause this. Yes. Yes. So that's why, back to earlier, like I believe Gary said in the comments, when people show you who they are, you gotta believe them. You gotta believe them. She said, I act like that sometimes, especially if someone else comments, but also that scene was edited so we don't know how it really started. Yeah, so you gotta go watch the show. I wasn't gonna upload a whole 10-minute clip. That ain't even what I'm about to do. I'm gonna always go straight to the meat and the potatoes. But yeah, it did start with her comment on who she dated. So you saying you act like that sometimes? So you just be obnoxious in front of your man? I mean, and it works for some people. Some people you can't do that with. Clearly. Come on now, I would genuinely apologize, but if the person doesn't accept it, there are one or two ways my response could go. Okay, so if you apologize and your partner's not being receptive of your apology, you were just like, what? Like, oh well, or well, it ain't my fault that you're not accepting it. Like, how does that go? Because she apologized and then she pulled her pants down and pooted all over the apology too. And that was in another clip where he was like, how you apologize? And she said, F it. You know what I mean? So sometimes we gotta distinguish, are you genuinely apologizing? Because if you're genuinely apologizing, you're not going to take your apology back after I'm letting you know I feel disrespected. But again, these are all like dysfunctional ways of communication that we've learned. Let me see. What is it? One of my high school male friends killed our other friend when she left. Yeah. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like it's whenever you are dealing with a violent person, you don't know what it will be or how it will go. That's why sometimes you have to leave right away. None of us could believe that he did this. Come to find out, he was abusing her the whole time they were together. Yeah, well, a lot of times too, when you are being abused, you tend to suffer in silence because you don't want you don't want the judgment, you don't want people to know. Nowadays we have social media, right? So a lot of people like to pretend for the internet to make it seem like they have this peachy life, and then you like, oh, they look so good, this, that, and the third. The whole time he beating her up every day. You know what I'm saying? Well, he's I remember when I was younger, this one girl, her baby father had locked her in the bathroom for days. You know what I'm saying? And she was young dealing with it. She was like 17, 18. You know, it's one of my daughter friends was experiencing that. She was 16, and she, you know, she comes from a, I guess, like a broken home or something like that. And you know, what else? She comes from like a broken home. She kind of is like, I think she's like the stepchild or something, or is not her mother. She in there with a father or something. I don't know, but she is in a abusive relationship, and now she done had a baby by the guy, and he beat her up, take her car, and do everything, all kinds of stuff to her. And this is when she was only 16. So um, she's probably like 20 now, but I think it's just crazy, you know. But it is a cycle, and sometimes it is hard to walk away, and you don't know what you would tolerate until you're put in that situation. So that's why I say, you know, she said abusers blend in with society and stand up with citizens sometimes too. Yeah, you think they walk around with a sign and say, "Hey, I beat women. Hey, I beat men. Pick me." But then there's somebody who will pick them anyway. Because you got some people that'll pick you. Shit, you know, somebody will pick you anyway. You can tell a woman a man ain't gonna be crap. You can tell her what he do and all that. She's still gonna be like, I talked to him last night. You be like, girl, what that song say? If I treat you like a man, you gonna walk away. But if I treat you like a dog, you gonna want to stay. That's real. Because some people, a lot of the times, we don't know our worth. I know at one point in time, I didn't know my worth. I know I didn't. I didn't even know how to spell it. Okay. But baby, when I found out, all right, when I come to, oh, you can't tell me nothing. That's why they get mad at me. I am the table. I'm the table, the chairs, the leg, the dinette set, the Kool-Aid container, the plate, the napkin, the folded chair. Okay? The towel you dry your hands off with in the kitchen. I'm the freaking kitchen rack, the dryer rack, the dishwasher, the kitchen cabinet, the pot, and the teapot. I'm all that. Everything applies. It's all on me. So you gotta know. But the key to all of it is just loving yourself. We have to start loving ourselves. Yes, loving ourselves and pouring into ourselves. We have to do that, because if you leave um, everything else in the hands of others, you'll believe everything that people tell you. I always knew your worth, amazing woman. Oh, thank you. And you have. You sure did. You sure did. Yes. She said, all that. Okay? All that salt, pepper, ketchup. What I have, I have. All right? If I was hip hop chicken, I'm the seasoning that y'all addicted to that you call crack, baby. But no, seriously, you guys, we just have to pour into ourselves more, get in tune with who we are, love us, and everything. Sometimes we will make excuses for behavior and for situations and circumstances that we place ourselves in. And then sometimes you just simply want help and don't know how to get out of it. So I say, pray about it, do everything that you can do to protect yourself, regardless of what the world is showing you. I know we see people, being killed and murdered with ex partes and peace orders against them and things like that. This is why it is so important for you to get out when you can. And even those who can't get out or lose their lives trying to get out, it's just like, man, look at these examples and just try to be better, because it doesn't happen overnight. It may have started with a friendly push. It may have started with a friendly mush. It may have started with just him calling you out your name or her calling you out your name. It may have started with them belittling you a little bit. It may have started with them calling you fat. It may have started with them just poking at your insecurities, right? And then it and then it leads up. Next thing you know, they doing all that at once. Like, yo, you gonna beat me, call me fat, talk about my insecurities, pull my hair out, and kick me down the steps? Like, you doing too much. Can you pick a struggle for real? You doing too much. But a lot of the times when you don't know anything, like I remember when I was in my situation, they give you gifts after they do it, right? But I didn't know. I was in my 20s. I didn't know. I was like, oh wow, he apologized. He brought me this. He sent me this. I was like, okay. But the whole time, those are like gadgets and tools and techniques. I mean, they will cry. They will do all kinds of stuff. And you just have to allow yourself to rise above that. You're gonna have to fight for you. And it's like, of course, once the situation's over and now I'm older, we said here earlier, the stuff that I did when I was younger, you couldn't do it to me today. You push me, a nigga part my mouth, a nigga can't even raise his voice at me wrong. Straight up. I had to get ghetto. Straight up. You can't even raise your voice at me wrong today. You can't even hang up in my ear. You understand? It's like, no. You can't curse. We not arguing in front of my kid. You ain't her father. I don't even argue with her father. So I ain't about to argue with you. Okay? You understand? So I think that goes back to what Officer Waters said. Like, we have to set the tone from the very beginning. Don't play with me. And I'm not going to play with you. Period. Treat people how you want to be treated. Treat people how you want to be treated. If you don't want to be treated like a doormat, then don't treat people like a doormat. You don't want to be lied to? Stop lying to people. And most importantly, stop lying to yourself. So I think that's what we need. We need more love. Pour more into us. I enjoyed the show. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this show. Yes, they have a lot of anonymous programs now to protect women when they decide to leave. Yes, and that's good. That is so good. Because you know what? We always talk about the women. That's why I'm like, wanted to let y'all know that men are being abused as well. And I'm like, dang, but you're a guy. That mindset, I'm like, you're a guy. It's like, God said, he said, I was with my ex for 5 years. She was physically abusive and verbally abusive. She beat me down, like, hurt me. And I'm like, and you didn't leave, why didn't you leave? And he's like, I don't know. I don't know. It was the first time I had a girlfriend in a long time. She kept saying she would change. And I'm like, wow. So I think that we do always try to look at women, but there are men that are abused. And then a lot of the times, they won't admit it because they're men. They said that we got to stay strong. And a few of them were white men that I talked to that were being abused. It's hard to leave when you have that emotional connection. Yeah, that's that love word. You just loving them more than you love yourself. That's all. That's what I do. Like, whenever I get put in a situation where I'm like, I'm never be able to do this, or I don't think I could do this. It's like, I know you ain't loving this clown more than you love yourself. And they got to be like, well, you got a point. Let me get it together. Because sometimes you got to check you sometimes. You got to fight or flight. So, it's hard. You're going to want to call. You're going to want to do it. Cry every day if you got to. Do some work, read some books, get in tune with you, really pour into you and put that energy into you so that you won't be putting all the energy into trying to be the band-aid to fix someone else's bruise. How you trying to get him together or be with him or be with her and want her to change or think he's going to change? You got all of this energy and all of this strength to do that and give it a go, but you don't have all that energy and strength to give yourself a go. You know what I mean? It is nothing more wrong than to, harder to be able to stay with someone who, the same hands that caress you and make you feel good is the same hands that beat you. The same person that whisper, I love you, is the same one calling out your name and treating you and saying rude things to you. The same person that you slept with and you laid down and probably even gave some babies to is now beating you. Like, that's a lot. And it makes you confused. You become confused. You mean to tell me that he the cure and the problem? So he knows how to make you feel better. She knows how to make you feel better. And you won't do it? So it's just, like I said, we just have to practice loving ourselves more. Really, really loving ourselves more. And just be respectful. The problem is we be in denial about the real danger and they leave without getting the proper protection. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. When you serious and you know when you're tired. You know that saying, I'm just sick and tired of being sick and tired. But when you're really tired, you can do anything. You can do anything when you're really, really tired. Really tired. The cure and the problem. Woo, yes, child. That be one of them ones. I could talk about that all day by itself. So I just think that, overall, the whole cure is love. Loving yourself, knowing what love is, understanding what love is. But more importantly, I think we need to look and learn what love is not. And you know what love is not because you ain't feeling good while you're in a situation. Love is not physical pain and abuse and just a bunch of chaos and trauma. Love is the word that, is used to describe God. And I love God. So he can't be drama and be the problem. He don't work like that. So I know for me, love don't work like that. But once you understand it and you begin to learn it and become wiser on your own and have an understanding, then you say, oh, okay, I know what this is. You know what you do want when you know what you don't want. And a lot of the times, the things that is clear about what you do want are very clear right in your face because you know what you don't want. So I would say the next time that anyone or someone is doing something to you, hold on, because it just messed up my message. This is why I turn my stuff off. Who's trying to get in my Netflix account? Talking about Netflix passcode. But the next time, someone is doing something to you and you're saying you don't like it or you just want to be better, ask yourself, do you treat you better? Are you good to you? Me. Not I'm doing my show when you want Netflix passwords. See, this is an example of black people. Selfish. Ain't no love in this situation right here because she know I'm doing my show. You see that? All love is lost. And she trying to watch. She trying to Netflix and chill. I didn't it was going to pop up, man. Whatever. Lord. Girl. Y'all know black people. Ain't no love in that situation. She like, listen, I know you giving a lesson right now and you trying to close the show, but I need that access password to Netflix. It's 9:20. You should be in bed. Black people. And look at me. Because I love you, I'm going to stop in the middle of my show and look for it. See, you see how love works, people? Because I love you, I'm going to look for it. Or you won't have to send it again because you know my emails be all over the place. You're gonna probably have to send it again. That don't make no sense. This is just ghetto. The code is. Oh, I gotta press get code too. Girl, you got it. Well, it looked like the code's supposed to be on the TV. Sweet sister. Oh, yeah. All right. She gonna be paying for this. Let me see. I got to go in the spot. Y'all see this? See how they do? Just like a man. Do the show. I'll wait. If you could wait, you'd have sit there when the show went off. See that manipulation? Just like a man. Oh, well, just do it. No, you really want it now. That's why you sent it. Stop playing. The code is 0247. 0247. You got 15 minutes. Oh, the ghetto. 0247. That's the code. Oh. And I won't be surprised if she say, repeat it again. 0247. Thanks, I'm on. That is just trifling. You see that? Now, y'all wouldn't do this to Oprah. But it's okay. But again, you know, share the show for me, you guys. Sharing is caring. You know, try to get out when you can. Oh yeah! See, I didn't even tell them. See, everybody you talking about show. See how people act when they know they're going to get the Oscar for Jesus. So y'all, I'm getting an Oscar for Jesus. I am so excited. I have been like crying all day. Just so excited. I'm getting the Oscar for Jesus. I can't wait. So once it happens, I was going to save it, but then you always got people who show up telling your business to the world. Okay. Oh, can't keep nothing to yourself. So I'm sharing it. So yeah, I got an Oscar, you guys. I can't wait to tell you the backstory about it. So I'm excited about that. Yes. So that's why I gave her the code, because I got an Oscar. Because Jesus would have gave her the Oscar. But I still feel like he'd have told you're going to have to get in the back of the line. Okay? Up here on my show acting like a Jezebel. Thank you. She said that's what you called it. It's hilarious. Yes, that's what I call it. I've been calling it that all day. I was like, with a phone, I called Tremaine. I was like, girl. She's like, well, I'm like, girl, I got an Oscar for Jesus. Okay? I thought my first Oscar was going to be, you know, on the BET Awards, at the Emmy, you know, ABC Awards. My first Oscar is for Jesus. I'm so excited about that. She said, you should have said that as soon as you started the show. Well, I was trying to wait until, you know, everything happened. But, you know, some people just like to show up. But yeah, I don't know. I was just taking it all, and I've been crying on and off like a big baby. Just see, you gonna let me talk about something else and I'm ready to go. Just pouring myself into gratitude, because I never thought in a million years that I would be getting an award for Jesus. Okay. I listen. Maybe you want to sing, Lord, I know I've been changed. You understand? I ain't broke out in the song in so long. Not Jesus put her in the back of the line. He is. That's what he'd have done. She'd have came up in here. He's trying to cure somebody. She's talking about, oh, I'm Jesus. I need a loaf of bread. He gonna be like, Shirley. Oh, my bad. I'll wait and tiptoe out. And tiptoe out. It be your own people, okay, every time. Lord. That just reminded me of that daggone meme that be like, me and my friend getting kicked out of heaven because I'm a pee and I say, God, which cloud the liquor store at? Like, girl, we just gotta stop the show because you're trying to watch Law and Order SVU series. I had hope for you. You had hope for me? Not y'all sound like, oh, let me try to y'all thought all hope was lost for this little color girl. Oh no. No, that's because I was a humdinger. You know what I'm saying? But he saved a wretch like me. And so I just been excited and I was just like, dang, I never thought in a million years that I would first of all, it's just so funny because I'm still like, I don't even know what this means. What does it do? What this award is? I don't even know what it means. But he said yes indeed. So I'm just like, wow. So it's crazy. So how you get something and you don't even know what it is you're getting? I'm like, oh God, you is showing off over here. So I'm actually just like, I'm just really taken back. It is just and shout out to my pastor. My pastor nominated me. She recommended me for it. And I believe it's like the entire district of like Baltimore and Washington or something like that. And you know what? I want to nominate, they better hope I don't get up there and start accepting my award singing a Nicki verse. Big bank take little bank. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to calm it down. I might gotta get up there singing, now behold the lamb, okay? She gonna say, girl, you know what it is. You have a VIP section. So fun fact. So, and I gotta stop because she has me telling people this now. Because my sister is always, Millie Rock on the Jesus beat. You know how I do it, okay? She be telling people, oh, you can't sit on this row. This row right here is reserved for Candace. Candace has a whole section in the church. So I would text me, they would texting me, and I would texting people. They're like, oh, I'm here. Oh, I'm in the back. I'm like, now she's trying to tell me to log off. See how they do? I was like, no. I texted her. I was like, you gotta come up. I was like, come up here to my section. I'm like, this girl got me telling people I got a section in church. Oh, she telling you to log off, Shanice. Oh, because you want me to Millie Rock. Okay, so it's Baltimore Washington Conference. So yes, that's what it is. I'm super excited. So when I get my award, Pastor, you have to be a good cameraman that day. We're gonna be practicing. We need excelente. You gotta look at it, and then how they be on the TV when they show my face, you gotta catch my face, turn it, and I'm gonna be like, you know how they be. On the tapes, like, and then when they say, come to the stage, this will be like, me? I gotta hit them with the, no way. I really get to perform and be dramatic. Y'all know I'm dramatic. You already know that. Okay, cool. I gotta wear my skinny outfit that day. I gotta make sure I'm slim, trim, and all that. Yeah, I'm really going to go get and do like 20 more extra squats. I know that's right, girl. We're gonna be in there. I got to represent for St. Luke. And I got to show out for Jesus. I might even wear a crown on my head that day. Is that too much? Then I'd be like, you know what? Give me this damn board back. But no. She said good because you will be crying. Yeah, I will, yeah. I was crying today. I was crying today just to look at everything that I've been doing. And again, I just never. So now I gotta share it early. I was going to save it to share it. So once upon a time, I didn't like my name. I didn't like hearing Candace. I didn't like hearing it. I don't know when that started. I don't know when that developed. Transparency moment, but it did, right? And I was fighting all the time, falling out with friends and stuff when I was younger. I'm just giving you a synopsis of my entire life to now, because now I can take you or leave you, okay? But and I didn't like it. Even at work and stuff like that, it would be like, Candace, it was just whenever I would hear my name or somebody would call my name, I always had that now what feeling behind it. Like, what's up? What did I do now? If I was young, it was like, you said, I ain't said, but what you gonna do if I did say it? Like, what we gonna do? We gonna squawk about it or talk about it? Because I don't really want to talk about it. Things like that. And just all of that stuff, right? And I didn't like my name, at one point. And it was just like my name was always being called for something. It was like Candace. And I had this moment earlier, and I was on the phone and I was talking. My nephew and I just was crying, and I just was like, wow, as I gotten older, now I am beginning to hear my name being called with a different meaning behind it. And some of you may get it, some of you may not. I would like for everybody to experience that if that's something that you've experienced. I've always said, like, since I started my show, I've always prayed, and I always ask God to allow, make me the example people see. When they see me, they see him. And sometimes, when you pray certain prayers, some things come along with it. So although, I didn't know I was going to be the person that I am today, all these years later, someone, my cousin, she did, she saw what I couldn't see. She saw what others couldn't see. She saw what, friends, family, and co-workers, or anything, you know what I mean? Because a lot of times we all can see something in someone else that they can't see in themselves. So I just had a very reflective moment today where I said, I cried, actually. Like I said, I've been crying all day. Probably won't cry again when I get off, because I didn't know that everything she had been talking to me about, everything that she had been wanting me to learn, and telling me that it would have led me to getting an Oscar for Jesus. It would have led me to being the person that inspires my friends to go to church, or me just inviting people to a church event or just to come to church. They show up. And sometimes, when my pastor be like, do you know how much of a big deal that is? I'm like, girl, I don't know. I just be inviting people and they come. If they come, they don't. Like, I even am like a Meals on Wheels for church. Like, I go and I pick people up to bring them there, right? So I've never would have thought that I would have done anything like that. Never would have imagined that I would have done anything like that. From the losing the job, from losing the relationship, from being stabbed in the back by friends, co-workers, from being called everything under the sun, being in a domestic situation at once upon a time, being a teenage mother, being in debt, not having food, don't know how you're going to pay your bills, from going through all of the things that life has thrown upon me. I never would have thought that I would be even here, and yet alone being acknowledged. Like, and I just feel like, I remember she's always said, like, one day you're going to use your mouth for good. One day you're going to use it for good. Like, you always use it for bad. It always gets you in trouble. Your mouth either gets you in trouble or gets you out of trouble. And one day You are going to do it. She told me this back in 2016 when I was having a mental nervous breakdown in my bedroom, trying to figure out what I was going to do in my life after everything had just been pulled from underneath me. And then here I am later, and I produced a show like 2 years later. And I'm still here. So I will always acknowledge God and put him at the forefront of everything that I do because he puts me at the forefront. I wouldn't even be here. I wouldn't even know a lot of the stuff I know. All of that always just being in debt, paying bills late, or just being late, being irresponsible, saying what I want to say out my mouth, treating people any kind of way, dismissing people's feelings, not caring about how I'm making my partner feel that I'm in a relationship with, not caring about how my relationship is with my family and stuff like that. All of that changed. But all of that didn't change until I started to change. So it's just like, okay, when I'm rocking with him, we good. Now, don't get me wrong. When, he took my cousin, my cousin passed away, me and him was beefing. Sometimes we still be beefing, because I understand, but I don't understand. I'm trying to understand and I don't understand. One day I get it, then one day I don't. It's all a part of the process. But it was like even in the moment in my life when I wanted to, be so angry and, can't stand him and don't want to talk to him and just, all the process that you go through when you're grieving someone, he's still good. Like he's still good. And I pray more than I have. I meditate more. Sometimes I fall off, just like with anything else. Some of us do. But I can recognize what my life looks like when I stop falling off or when I begin to fall off. And it's just phenomenal what you can do. Like, this is the first time in my life, for one, I look at like the good things that came out of her passing away, right? And let me know if I'm keeping y'all too long. See, y'all done opened up a whole nother door. But you probably don't gotta hear it next week. But I didn't understand it, right? But when she was here, I would pray sometimes. I wasn't consistent with my prayer. I would always call her like, "Can you pray for me?" Because I've witnessed her prayers. They work immediately. I used to say, "Girl, you're best friends with God. Like, he answered your prayers right away." But with her leaving, it made me have to activate my own faith and develop my own relationship with him and not be dependent upon someone else. So I now have to see how it works, because I used to feel like, well, he don't listen, or whatever. But when I get into my moment, I live for after hours. Yes, Shanice, it's usually you that gets me on here hours. But once I started to realize, that he gave, her to, me, and had her in my life, to the world, to my family. I always used to say, the world needs more people like you. And the fact that he allowed me to be related to you was the bonus, was the cherry on top. And I was like, okay. So I knew that God was real. I didn't know how he worked. I didn't know how to work it. You know what I mean? But I knew he was real because I had this living, breathing example who strived herself on just being a decent person. So I would watch how she handled conflict. I would see her when she was upset. I would hear when she would cry. Like, it was just so much. And it kind of reminds me of myself because, everybody looked at her like she's so strong. She was like the strong one. So it's like, to see her upset or to know things bother her, usually when you're the strong person, you get overlooked a lot. You get overlooked a lot and you don't get checked on, stuff like that. And people usually just, it's all about self. So it wasn't until she left that I began to form my own relationship with him. And so I always be like, I don't know, I constantly recite, all things happen for good for those who believe in the Lord. So I'm like, there is going to be some good that comes out of this, right? I'm thinking, oh, it's going to be some good that come out of this. Something's going to happen. I'm going to hit a jackpot. I'm going to freaking do something. It's going to be wheelies. Like, what's going to be the good that's coming out of this? Where is the good in this jacked up situation where my heart is devastated? Like, I come here, I do my show. I don't fake it because I'm just not fake. Y'all know if I'm not having a good day, I'm coming to them and telling you I'm having a good day. For the mass majority of my days, I'm really happy. It's not forced. That's what it is. But my heart is broken. And I just work on that, attacking that muscle and talking to God about just really having to acknowledge that my heart is broken. And my heart is broken because I'm not gonna cry, but my heart is broken because my cousin is not here with me. Like, that literally took like a grenade to my heart, right? And blew it up into so many pieces. And woo, I'm gonna get it together. I don't want to be one of them people that be ugly crying to the camera. But it's just, I had to be real. And my heart has been blown up into a million pieces. And so every day I fight for me. I fight and pray to get it built back together. And I know that it will, one day it will be, because he said so. You know what I mean? And well, thank you. I said love you. And so it's just today when I have all of these wonderful things that happen to me with the thank you, with getting the Oscar for Jesus and going to school. I have my certifications over here for Johnny Coleman Christ Universal Temple Institution, so that I can get my complete my courses and get my certificates to be a master metaphysics teacher and all those things. I don't have her to share them with. So I'm like, here we are. And then today I can't even call you and say, girl, I done got nominated for an Oscar. I never thought that in a million years that all the things that she was showing me and she had been teaching me, that it would lead to me just being excited and talking so much about Jesus. And I know sometimes it may seem like I'm stubborn or I don't want to bend, or that's not true at all. It's just that I had someone making me do the work to know that it works if you work it, and that you can make your life better. Like, you really can make your life better. So that's why I'm always like, God, just allow me and my platform to be the example for somebody who feel like they don't know what they're gonna do, for somebody who feel like they were always being talked about or always being judged. When I come and I say, hey, I've been all of that for all of us. I come here and I say it all the time. And to just not be able to share that with the one person who introduced me to him in the first place. You know what I mean? Like, I've always knew who God was. I've always been curious, even as a child. I'm pretty sure some of you guys have too. We've said the prayers when we were little and things happen and stuff like that. So I've always been that. And But I just didn't. Yeah, I relied on her to do it. Like, pray for me and do this and speak life over this and do all this, and she always did it without any hesitations. And so this is, every time I do something, it's a bittersweet moment for me. So I'm just still adjusting to all the moments that's not there, that she's not physically here, because she's always been physically here in every moment that I've ever had. When I travel, when I go away, I'm talking to her at the airport. I'm talking to her on the plane. I'm spending $300-$400 on a cell phone bill because I'm talking to her while I'm out the country. Like, girl, like, that's just what it is and what I did. And I have good moments. And hey, I was on the radio today. And hey, I did this. And hey, I did that. And this is what's going on. And today it was like, girl, I didn't won this award and I can't even call you and tell you about it. Like, this is crappy. But it was not sad tears of sadness. It's just tears of joy, shock, excitement, still just trying to process what happened to me today, and that's part of the reason why I didn't really share it today, because I'm like, okay, let's see how this is gonna go. But I don't know. So it's a whole lot to me as to, she taught me to always see things from a higher perspective. And when you can't see them from a higher perspective, step back, reset, and look at it from a higher perspective. She always told me, you don't allow people to bring you down to their level of thinking, even if they can't see it. We all have different paths, but you know truth. So when you know truth, you have to own that. You have to stand in that. And nobody can take that from you. So that's why sometimes me and my girlfriend, we go back and forth, because she be like, you just don't bend, you won't get down here in the gutter. And I'm like, girl, listen, I can't get in the gutter with them people, because some people just don't even want to be in the gutter. And then it's funny because something happened where I was like, oh, now you see why I don't get down there. She was like, oh, now I understand why you say what you say. So, I mean, it took a couple disagreements. I love her to death, but we have uncomfortable conversations. So I do appreciate that. So it's just all of that stuff. I just never thought that any of this would be happening to me. I never thought that, and I'm like, look, I just want my show, from her sister saying, girl, you're going to be a minister. From my nephew keep telling me I'm going to be a minister. From the pastor keep talking. I'm like, I ain't trying to do all that. I just want my shot. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. But I really do. I work on myself every day. Like, y'all, it's a lot. It take a lot of work. It take a lot of consistency, yo. But you got to work on you every day. And when you know who you are, like, and you know who you belong to, you just different. You just carry it different. You feel different. Like, I don't even curse a lot anymore. Did y'all notice that? I do my damnedest. Not the cuss Candace. But even that was something that was already in the process, right? Because remember I told y'all 2 years ago on a show that my sister has my nephew, my nugget, and she be like, girl, he can't watch his show because he be trying to watch his show. I told him get in the tub and he talking about he want to watch you and I can't even let it play because you cursing. So it was always being placed in me. And I'm like, all right, because I love my nugget. Y'all know how I feel about my nephews, child. They Xavier and my nugget, okay? So it's like, I was like, all right. So I started considering that. So I was I've already been working on that. And you know how some people say, oh, well, you in the church now, so you can't do this, or no, you can't do that. No, he was working on me before I stepped foot in the church. And let's be real, I'm only in the church because my cousin died. And I'm being all the way 100 with you. I only go to church every day because my cousin died. We used to have church. We used to have church together. And we used to watch the church under what we studied too. So that was it. And here's a fun fact. Me and my, let me see. How do you feel about a journal? I wrote my friend a journal for her to keep her mom updated on her life endeavors. Her mom passed when she was 16. I know it's corny, but she loves it. I do something like that already. Yo, thank you for the suggestion, but I do that. I do that already. And that's fun. No, it's definitely not corny at all. You know what I'm saying? I do that though, where I drink that when I write and I talk to her. And a lot of times when I do that, I cry. Of course, sometimes I'll be crying like, girl, I can't believe, you know. And I just talk to her the same way I would talk to her if she was here. And then and then after that, I always feel better. And then when I have moments when I feel like the pain becomes unbearable, because if I think about it, there are times it's gotten better. But sometimes if I sit and I have to think about my life, right, and how she's not in it, I'll begin to hyperventilate. I'll panic. Anxiety will come, and then I have to reel it in because I know all of that is just fear. That's all anxiety and everything is fear. She said, "Oh, y'all got me emotional. Thank you for being touched. You're welcome, girl. Y'all got me crying on here, you know." And so I do stuff like that, and I'll hyperventilate and I'll panic, and I'm like, you can't do that. Come on, no, no, no. And I just go into remembering, remember what she said, remember what, our conversations, remember what God says, remembering, God is not, he did not create fear. He did not give us the spirit of fear. He did not give us anxiety. So I go into a whole tangent. I have to go into a whole tangent sometimes. But here lately, I've had to really admit to him that my heart is broken, that my heart is broken. And it's crazy because there are a lot of things that I want. And I always find myself praying for different things. So of course I want to be all of these things, right? And I want all of this stuff, but I'm always praying for me to be better. I'm always praying to be better. Hey, my heart, I don't like this, or, get me so high. And when I say that, it's like, get me so high to where as though I can't even hear anything else. Like, I can't hear self-doubt. I can't hear sabotage. I can't hear people saying something negative. I can't hear you throwing stones at me. It's like one day we all will be so high that you can't even hear your haters, or nothing they say will touch you. And the one thing I really do appreciate and I love most is that she made sure to instill that in me, to like, you have to know who you are, period. Nothing about what people say and what they think about you is so far irrelevant. Of course, some people come along to show you some things. Like, okay, maybe I need to work on that. But never, I had to stop getting mad at the messenger. We have to stop getting mad at the messenger and listen for the message that's in it. And listen for the message. So it's just one of those things where it works if you work it. You know what I mean? You can literally make your life better just by talking. And that's what I've done. And I'm like, damn, I went from not liking my name, not liking to hear my name, not wanting to hear my name, because always is something going around it, to now, like, I'm in magazines, been on radios, getting awards, got an Oscar. It's just like, oh my God. Like, now you have so many different things attached to your name. If my supervisor calls my name at work, I'm not instantly going into panic mode or walking in the office being on defense, like, what's she about to say? What they about to do? Not doing any of that, and just trusting the whole process. So this year I've had to, this is the most where I've had to put my faith into action. Of course, I've been putting my faith into action by praying and just letting it go and doing it, but having to work it, because it is difficult practicing and having faith with a broken heart. And that's what I'm learning. But I can talk to my friends about it, but ultimately they can't help me. Y'all can listen, y'all can give advice, but ultimately you can't help me. God is the only person that can help me, though. God is the only person that can help me. And that's what I've been realizing, that, you just gotta want more. So, I don't like it when people do certain things or talk down to themselves or feel like they're defeated and depleted. And it's like, you may feel that way, but it is temporary. That's why I'm always, I'm appreciative to those who do reach out to me too when they're going through stuff and stuff like that. Like, I am like an example. I may not be the best example, but baby, I am a goddamn great example of what it looks like when you just allow God to be God. And I'm just like, whatever you want me to do, I'm going to do it. I'm going to stop trying to navigate this thing. I'm going to stop killing myself trying to figure out what topic I'm going to talk about. I'm going to stop overthinking this. I'm going to stop overthinking that. I'm going to stop just overthinking me. And I was just like, God, this year, this season, listen, whichever way you got me, I'm going to go. I'm going to go. And I've been going and haven't been disappointed yet. I was on the phone having a conversation with one of my friends. So my friends used to laugh at me a lot some years ago because I always talk like things have already happened, right? So I used to always talk to my one friend about my butler. My butler is Francesco. Margaret is the cleaner, right? Margaret is the cleaner. The butler is Francesco. I'm letting y'all in my head, okay? No judgment. Don't judge me. And sometimes Margaret goes on vacation. But here lately, Margaret has just been like doing the damn thing. And I have a driver and all those stuff too. So some years ago, 3.5 years ago, I had moved, and I was like, they was like, where you live at? I was like, oh, I got a 2-bedroom condo. I was like, I moved into this condo. So they laughing at me. My one friend, he like, this ain't no dang condo, girl. This is an apartment. And I said, to you, it's an apartment. To me, it's a condo. So we all laughing and joking. So whenever I would say something, he'd be like, here you on your manifestation stuff today. You on your speaking stuff into existence. I'm like, yep. So I have been saying it. Like, yeah. And I was like, I just want a space. I'm doing all this by myself. I just want to be able to go in, click a button, and do my show. That's what I want to go and click a button. I don't need nobody. I can click a button, do my show. I don't have to set up no lights. I just want this. Like, that's what I want, to make it easier. God, I needed to make it easier. And I remember this was in 2020. 2020. And I was sitting in my room on the phone with my cousin. And we were talking. And I was like, yeah, this and this. I'm like, girl, this is a nice condo. Yes. So I say all that to say, here I am, 3 years later. 3 years later. Now I really, really live in a condo. Like, it's a condo. Condo association. You understand? I live in a condo. I have 2 bathrooms, 2 bedrooms, and my kitchen dining room area, and I have an office. So I'm saying all that to say, you know, even when they laughing at you and they thinking you crazy, you gotta do it and say it, and you have to believe it. So even my friends who was laughing like, you are crazy, you are this, you are that, I got my condo. you know, you know what I mean? So we don't dream big enough, and you're dreaming, and that's how we should live. Speaking to the, yeah, you know what? And that's the one thing that me and my pastor was talking about, because sometimes I'm like, I feel like, you ever feel like your dream is too big? You ever feel like that? Have y'all ever experienced that? And then I'm gonna shut up. I ain't gonna keep y'all too much longer. But um, sometimes I felt like my dreams for myself are so big. And sometimes your stuff is so big that, you know, other people won't understand it, or they can't even begin to think, because they can't see past their own stuff, or when they see you, they don't see what you see, or, you know, just their own stuff. That's why a lot of people like to keep things to themselves and hold it. And it's like, no, I always talk out loud, because I know that only God can do anything for me and create my life. Like, you don't have no power, because I ain't gonna give you no power. So I remember when I was on the phone with her going through it, like, I just feel like maybe I'm just dreaming so big, because, you know, this, and the third. Like, and because that was the one thing that my cousin was heavy on me on, like, you gotta keep going. You gotta keep dreaming. You gotta keep up. And I remember I used to be on the phone like, well, what am I gonna do if you pass away? I can't live if God takes you. He better take me too, and da 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 da, because I ain't gonna be able to do it. And she was like, you're gonna live your life. You are going to live your life, no matter if I passed away, your mom passed away, no matter if you lose a job, you do that, no matter what, you are going to live your life. If you go through a breakup, if you get divorced, you have to live your life. Life goes on, girl. So now it's like I've really had to practice that and put that and really see it. So what's funny is, I remember, see, look, and now I'm telling y'all some of my stuff, of some of my prayers that have been answered. And I remember when she passed away, and I was laying God out, okay, in my room going off, and I was just crying. And I was talking to her, and I was like, what am I gonna do now? You know, you left. Like, who am I gonna talk to? How am I gonna know which way to go? Like, what am I gonna do? Like, what in the world? What am I gonna do? You know, you just left me. You left me. Like, why did you leave me? Like, this is crazy. You are selfish. You know, I went through all of it. And I was just like, what am I going to do? Who am I going to talk to? And I remember like yesterday, like, what am I going to do? Who am I going to talk to? You know, who's going to guide me? Or what am I going to do? How am I going to know what to do? And she died. And then February came. And when February came, God is just so good. He just be showing off. And when February came, right? Are y'all listening? Oh, I need to shut up. When February came, my mom was like, come to my church. And I'm like, girl, I ain't even about to do that. I ain't like, gotta go there. You got like 3 members. I'm not going to this church. She like, come. They were having like family and friends day or something. So I'm like, okay. So I go. And mind you, the church that I go to is my family's church, but I just didn't go. So I was like, okay. I go to the church. I'm listening. I dragged Tremanda with me. We go to the church. I'm like, okay. And the word was good. Like, she was a beast. She's a beast. And I was like, oh, okay. She was saying some things and was hitting on some things. I'm like, oh, okay, that sounds good. And it was something like where you could inquire about something, right? Um, she was like, okay. So I was like, all right. Called on the phone, was like, hey, I just have a question about, whatever you were talking about. That was that. Never talked to her again. This is the pastor. Never talked to her again. This is in February of 2023. I never talked to her again. Went away for my birthday, all of that, or before that. I went that one Sunday. I think I went back, and then I went away on my trip. And I knew that when I came back from my trip, I knew I wasn't going to church. So I wasn't thinking about it. So I'm like, okay. So I go ahead, get back from Puerto Rico, at my desk one day at work, feeling just like, this is not my life. Like, this is not my life, because it's just adjusting to the new norm. And she texts my phone. The pastor texts my phone, and she asked me a question because Easter was coming up. And I had gotten so much joy just because I like helping people. Like, if I have the answers, I'll give them. And I was like, oh yeah, whatever. She was like, well, what did you think? I want to do this. I have this idea. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, you blah, 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 is that what you're looking at? She's like, well, I don't really know. So then I just started sending her stuff. And this is how our friendship formed. And I was like, okay. So she sent me that message. I wrote her, and then that was that. This is I'm trying to tell y'all how God works, because she even did something too that I didn't know about until we were friends, right? So like I told y'all, I was at the desk and I'm like, all right, God, this is not life. I don't know what to do. I'm just like, whatever. And she's like, y'all know I'm a victim for, like, I love food. I'm a sucker for food. And then we were talking, I was showing her, and then one day I was like, well, something, I don't know how, but I ended up at her house. And I ended up, and this is new. I'm just going through life. I ended up at her house. Her mom and stuff was there. And it was new because I didn't know. And I'm just sitting there listening, and she's giving me these ideas she's having that she wants to do at the church. And I'm like, sure, I'll help you in any way I can. I'm eating and all of that. And then as time went on, I go back to church. Now I've been back to church, been going. I'm helping her. She somehow, I don't know when it started, but because I told y'all, I knew I wasn't going to church. I wasn't even going to go. She was like, she wanted to start doing the online. She wanted to start virtually streaming the show. The show, church. And I was like, oh, okay. And she was like, yeah, we have something. I don't know how it got started. And I just was like, oh, okay. So she put it up there. I can't even tell you how I ended up being the one streaming this service every week. Everything's about to die, so I gotta hurry up. And I was like, okay. And I did it. And I started doing it. And now I've been there ever since. I've been every Sunday. I work at the church. But I said all that to say that we developed our relationship. We talk and stuff like that. And I've never had a friend that was a pastor, And at the same time, she was like, wow, I was sitting at my desk and working on this idea. She said, and God said, go Candace. So while I'm sitting at my desk at work feeling defeated and depleted, like, God, I don't know what to do. You ain't leave me nobody to guide me through this thing. She was at home saying, I need to know how I'm going to do something. And God said, call Candace. And, she said, God said, call Candace. And we've been thick as thieves ever since. So I'm saying all that to say that I know that she was placed in my life for a reason. I don't know specifically what this reason is, but what I do remember is going off, yelling and screaming, crying to God and my cousin, like, who is going to show me and teach me about this? All right, I'm ready to fall off the bandwagon now because I'm hurt, I'm crushed. I'm just ready to do everything. I don't care. I'm ready to slip. And a few weeks after that, like he brought Pastor Angelic Williams into my life. So he answers you if you talk to him, if you speak to him, he will answer you. And I know that he knew, because he know me, that I wasn't gonna go to church. My heart, I was bitter, but that was the very place I needed to be. I could feed myself, but I couldn't rely just on going to church on Sunday. You gotta do the work yourself. So I was doing the work myself, but it was like, all right, so now I go there. And I've been going there for over a year. Every Sunday, I get mad when I miss church. I only miss church when I'm on vacation. Like I'm gonna miss church Sunday because I'm going away. But I don't like it. It's like okay, because she's really a great preacher. She's not judgmental and stuff like that. And that's how we became to be. Like what's going on? Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel like it because I feel the same way because I was really I was going to stop doing it. Like I was going to stop wanting to know him, wanting to continue to get closer, learning. I just you broke my heart. I don't want to talk to you right now. You saying you real, but you just crushed me and all of this and just all of those thoughts and stuff that we have when we lose somebody. And then I had to realize, like, wow, good has came out of her passing away for me because like I said earlier, we be looking for like the material things to come, but good came out of it because it made me closer to him, and that's really what he aspires us to be. So I had to look at that, like remembering when I feel away, when she would always say, well, how does God see it? How does God see it? Look at it from spirit. How does God see it? Because he don't see this. He don't see that. We do because we're human. We judge. He's not like that. So I ended up enrolling in school, completing those classes. I got to sign back up, getting the Oscar. I even got the evangelism award from church, that she actually gave me. So good has came out of it. I know we don't like to look at it that way because when you're in it, you can't see it. And I had my moments, but good has come out of her passing away because I'm here. I didn't give up. I'm still learning and growing and going on what she taught me and got to know God for myself to the point that even some of my friends called me like, I need you to pray for me, where they've seen and I get to see my prayers work for people and for myself. And they be like, hey, I need to call a voice of reason today because I'm ready to go off. And I'm like, okay. And I'd be like, damn, I have turned into her. You know what I mean? So it's just like, oh, okay. And I just like that. Life is ultimately about what are you leaving behind when you're no longer here? And even though she's not here, she left good behind with all the people she's ever touched and the people that she's inspired and the things and the people that she's helped. And she left good and her work didn't go unnoticed because I'm also one of her students. So that's really what life is about. That's really what we're here to give knowledge, to pour, to uplift each other, even though it's so much going on and we can't see it. But it's all about what do you leave behind? What's here for you, after it's gone, what have you left? So she did a good thing. And I'm appreciative to that. And yeah, so I'm still on my healing journey, still growing, learning. I've even started exercising, drinking more water, just treating myself better. So I'm just in the season of loving and treating me better. Because when I started to do that, my entire life got better. And now I do that. And I just be so open and vulnerable with God. I'm actually coming out of my mouth and saying it. I've actually was in meditation earlier today. meditating on my lunch break, and tears were like rolling down my face while I was meditating. I never experienced that. So it's like, oh, okay, things are going. And I don't have to be strong every day and all the time. And you don't have to be strong all the time either. I've learned and still learning it is okay to break. Because that's when you're able to be vulnerable and open up saying, I'm hurting in this area, or this bothers me, or this is the area I need help in. And you're able to say, God, help me with this. Fix this feeling. So that's what it does. So I hope this encourages somebody. Thank you guys for letting me share and really open up with you guys tonight. And just thanks for all the support. Thanks for all the donations. Thanks for all the subscriptions. And just, it's a group effort. And if you ever feel like you want to give up or you ever feeling down, you can always hit me up. I'm an open ear. I'm not a listening ear with a running mouth. God trusts me when people come to me to tell me things, and I keep it. So I hope that this inspires you to keep on. You're just getting started. It's never too late. You can be better if you want better. And just pour more into yourself and love on you like no one else in the midst of everything, the storms and anything. And just treat people better. Love on the people that love on you. And just continue to be great. And like I said, it's a group effort. And as long as I'm here, you're still here. We are still here together. So if you feel like you want to give up, just tune in on Wednesdays and be like, oh, she's still going after all this stuff she done been through. Or it's possible. Because I'm fighting for all of us. Because I that's what I do. I pray to be the example every day. So I love you guys. Thank you guys. We will have a show next week. Make sure you follow me and subscribe to everything. So see you guys next Wednesday. Bye.